Texas Governor Greg Abbott has signed some legislation that will allow government workers to discriminate against LGBT youth simply because they are gay or transgender. It would also allow these government officials to discriminate against children if their parents happen to be gay. So let me give you the details of this legislation. So Greg Abbott signed a bill that will allow child welfare service providers to decline to provide certain kinds of care based on the provider's sincerely held religious beliefs. The bill will permit discrimination against LGBT couples wishing to adopt children, in addition to allowing LGBT children to be placed under the agency's care in religious education. So they will be able to place these kids into organizations that teach religious, let's keep it real, Christian stuff, okay? The bill also affects not only child placement services, but group homes, counseling services, care for abused children, and other resources for children with complicated family situations. Of course, complicated family situations in this context means gay parents, that kind of stuff that usually the religious right is not in agreement with. Organizations can also legally refuse to provide care for children on the basis of their sexuality or gender identity, or on the basis of the sexuality or gender identity of someone in their family, as long as the provider can cite religious beliefs.
Someone in their family.
Someone in their family.
So like your cousin.
That's right. Yeah, so it was, in my opinion, intentionally written to be broad. And of course, this is done under the guise of religious liberty. We want to protect religious liberty, when in reality, it gives individuals who are paid with our taxpayer money, or with Texas's taxpayer money, to discriminate against kids and essentially put them in a worse situation simply because they don't agree with the lifestyles that they live or the lifestyles that their parents live or family members live. All an organization that denies service to someone must provide is a link to the webpage on the department's internet website that includes a list of other licensed children welfare service providers and a referral to another organization. So I just want to make a quick point before I open it up to the panel about how incredibly pro-life lawmakers in Texas are. They're so pro-life that they want to allow the discrimination of kids if they're gay, or if they're not living the lifestyle that they want, or if they're not following the religion that they want. And by the way, this doesn't just impact LGBT people. It impacts everyone who lives any type of lifestyle or believes any type of religion that these government workers don't agree with, right? So if you're Jewish and they just don't like Jewish people, their religion says, Jewish people kind of suck, they get to discriminate against you as well. Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, not Hindu.
Yeah, you can say Hindu.
Yeah, Hindu, whatever it is. Whatever you believe doesn't matter. They can go ahead and discriminate against you because they're just protecting religious liberty here. It's insane. It's insane when you put it in the context of a state that has passed some of the most restrictive reproductive legislation or laws. Like, they claim that they care about the sanctity of life. They claim that they care about the well-being of children. Those precious little zygotes, we really care about those zygotes. But the second those kids are born, if you're not perfect under their religious eyes, then all of a sudden you don't get, certain services that their state offers. It's just sick. Anyway.
Well, I have to say this, this speaks directly to a joke in my act. And it's sad when the joke is reality. And I said these religious freedom laws, basically what they're saying is we can discriminate against gay people in the name of Jesus.
Right.
Because we know Jesus was very big on discrimination.
It's a great American trend. It happened back in the day during, segregation and the prohibition of interracial marriage. It's just a common thing that people go back to. Well, my religious liberty indicates that I can go ahead and be a shitty person. So let's protect that, because that's way more important than the safety and the well-being of actual human beings. I've
said it before and I say it again. These people better hope Jesus doesn't actually come back. Because Jesus, if anything you read in the New Testament to the Bible, now I'm no expert, but I've been to Sunday school, and the Old Testament was the rules. If you did this, God would smite you, and this was wrong, and it was okay to beat your slave, and if your wife spoke out of turn, blah blah. That was all. But the New Testament, when Jesus came, it was about love and forgiveness and understanding, and this would be a case where Jesus would really be okay with a gay kid, or a kid whose parents, or like you said, your cousin. Because you know something, everyone has a gay cousin. You may not know it, you may not agree with it, but you do. It is, just like you said, Anna, it's discrimination if you don't fit a very narrow definition of what they call good. And the funny thing is, this is Texas, right? So what if this kid has gay parents, but he's an incredible quarterback? Now, it sounds funny, but I'm telling you, it would be forgiven.
That's right, of course, that's right.
If the kid was an incredible quarterback,
you perform on Friday night,
parents, they'd be like, well, they're the good kind.
Right, exactly, the Christian kind.
They're the good gay. It's ridiculous. It is straight out discrimination, and it's horrible. There's no, and what I don't understand is if you're that religious and you're that in touch with your church and the support and so on. And again, religion is not a bad thing. Religion used for discrimination is, but not. Why are you so scared of someone who's gay?
Well, exactly.
Like what sets it off? What is there something about somebody who's gay walks by you? You know, I don't know. I can't understand.
Yeah, that's why they spend so much time. Michelle Bachmann, among others, many talking about how the gay agenda is that they're going to have the teachers teach the kids how to be gay. Like it just those words coming out of your mouth. It seems like the dumbest. It's so absurd. But people, she ran for president. She got votes.
People believe it.
Well, to be fair, when I learned about what it means to be gay, I was super tempted. I was like, totally. Oh, you know what? I'm not into super hot Latino guys. Like now, all of a sudden, I'm into women, and that sounds super tempting. Like it's just ridiculous. Like the way it's ignorance. Honestly, it's ignorance, and the fear that they have of certain communities stems from that ignorance.
And we're at a point now where we have decided that this religious liberty, to Alonzo's point about his act and to your first point, Anna, I mean, that we allow that to be an accepted form of debate here in America, that we've turned, because of religious liberty, it's in the First Amendment, right? We're all theoretically for that, and they have turned that into a little catchphrase. They've tricked us, Americans in general, to where that's just a reason to discriminate. The 7A and 7B, the first two graphics, the thing Anna read, I mean, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill that, and all you need are these sentences here, that will allow child welfare service providers, to decline to provide certain kinds of care. They're child welfare providers. You can't decline care for children. That's the only reason you exist.
Absurd. It's so absurd.
And then the last part of it is, in addition to allowing LGBTQ children to be placed under the agency's care and religious education. So the governor of Texas has signed a bill from the Texas Senate and the Texas legislature. We're still, what that is though this kid's gay, we'll fix it.
Right.
That's right.
We'll fix it by putting him under religious care. I mean, if this doesn't meet some standard of the establishment of a religion, then we got judges not paying attention. So again, this is a point I end up making every show. Eventually, a federal judge is going to rule on this law. Somebody is going to, and who appointed that federal judge is going to matter, whether it's at a district level or a circuit appellate court judge, all the way up to the Supreme Court. But we decided that election didn't matter.
Well, you also brought up a great point, and this is we live in two countries. Let's be honest. We live in there's two different countries, because, like you said, as ridiculous as it sounds to us here, there are other people to whom they're like, well, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. But I love the religious freedom thing, because that is a specific thing to our Christian religion, because the same people who are arguing about this religious freedom are fine with a Muslim ban.
Absolutely.
Because they're the wrong religion.
They don't actually believe in religious freedom.
You're not free to be part of the wrong religion.
Right.
As long as you're part of
free to be part of the Christian religion and have state, with straight kids. And you brought up the Jewish religion, and it's very funny because they're really not sure.
Right.
They're kind of confused. They're like, well, we want to support Israel, but we're not really sure we like Jewish people.
Man, the first conservative to find out that the phrase Judeo-Christian existed. Oh my God, he was like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. We get to say Judeo-Christian every time. We don't really mean the Judeo part.
No.
Yeah.
Membership helps fund the Young Turks. You know one great thing about that? That means we're not accountable to anyone but you guys. That's why we're strong together, because we built this show around you. Come build it even bigger and better at tytnetwork.com/join.